So yeah, don't be too much afraid about dips because what we are seeing is literally institutions buying it all back for XRP. So it doesn't matter if it dips because the institutions keep wanting to buy more because what will they hold otherwise? Will they hold basically money, which is inflationary, or will they hold XRP, which is deflationary and having more potential? So the US dollar will always be the same. It will always be worth $1, right? It will even lose value due to inflation. But then you have cryptocurrencies basically exploding and giving a 3x return, unlike we have seen in any other stock market or anywhere else. So for me, that is bullish. It seems like more institutions are realizing that they didn't want to do that risk before, but now they're doing that. This is the big thing. Also, Raoul Paul talked about the crash, and whenever XRP dips 50 cents, 30 cents, this is why I'm not worried. The technology stays the same for the technology itself. It's just the price that is changing, and sometimes the price only changes for 1 week before it rallies back up.
Decent run, I think we'll be surprised to the upside in how fast stuff runs. Then we'll cool off for a bit, but even using global N2 as a forward indicator, it barely went sideways for a period of time. So that feels like some chop in late summer. And now global N2 is rising again, and it's got extremely good correlation. Now, it won't be perfect all the way, but it just feels to me that, from here on in, basically, we've got a really good run. But generally, it feels like the mid-tier outperforms Bitcoin, but the bottom tier, there'll be cases of things that do because they're new and they're interesting and they get attention. But generally speaking, there's just not enough capital that flows that far out the risk curve. I think of it as a function of the amount.
So like what we are noticing with XRP and other cryptocurrencies is they always keep rebounding no matter what. Like they are literally getting bought out. We survived a big lawsuit. So when you can survive that, when you can survive the 2022 bear market, there's nothing stopping you from surviving basically the small dips that have happened in crypto. And there's something called a XRP treasury that basically has also money for when the stock market might dip, when the unforeseen event, black swan event. It also gives them a security in that sense
of capital and attention available, right? So like attention times capital, right? That's the whole game in this. And there are so many coins now, ignoring all the meme coins for now, but just generally speaking, there's a lot.
So yeah, see how they're saying they're ignoring meme coins and they're focusing on the big changes, on like the government coins. It's what I've been always saying.
So we don't have enough capital to drive all of the speculation and all of the things. So the market has to focus where the attention goes. And so yes, you'll see pockets of memes doing extremely well because they capture attention.
The issue is these pockets cannot hold attention. For example, you have like SHIB, you have Bong blowing up, but how long can it stay before like big retail investors will never probably buy this? Who will buy this is it's not institutions that will get it, it's the retail investors. And once retail investors see, hey, this won't last, they start selling off their positions. But with utility coins, they literally see updates every single week and realize there is a lot of potential in there, in actually holding it for 3 years and coming back and seeing massive changes.
And thus capital, using Bitcoin as a reserve asset, but also building the entire government infrastructure on blockchain. So it's it's fascinating to see. And then a lot of people say to me, well, if all of this money's coming in from the sovereigns, that may produce an outside return. And I'm thinking, well, if we're going from 3 trillion to 100 trillion, which is my estimate by just extrapolating out the trend rate of growth, you need larger players each time.
Exactly. You need more and more buys, and you're not going to get them through meme coins. So he's basically saying meme coins, they're not bound to last.
Because the market cap is bigger, right? There's no way you're going to get to 15 trillion this cycle unless you've got bigger players. So it's kind of, I don't think it's what people think it is. I think it's just a function of the size of the market. The bigger it becomes, the more that those people are involved, and the more blockchain technology gets used, the more it uses the alts for infrastructure rails, for new forms of compute and storage and all the other things that are coming. Because everyone's like, it's a super cycle because of this. I'm starting to err towards, well, we've talked about this before, a longer cycle, just because the business cycle is still below 50. So generally it takes a while to climb up. And then we use the GMI Financial Conditions Index, and that has a 9-month lead. And with the dollar breaking down, even today, it's starting to suggest that this may go even into Q2 2026. So it's like the whole cycle got shifted because rates didn't get adjusted and the dollar was sideways.
So that's why Trump is trying to fire Jerome Powell, because when the rates get adjusted, we are literally going to be seeing crypto pumping. So we are going to be seeing as soon as the rate get adjusted. So what happened is the market cycles, the crypto cycle was actually delayed. It was not canceled. It was just delayed. XRP didn't care though. It still pumped.
For a period of time. So it feels that potentially there is a chance, and again, there's no guarantees in this world, that we're more like 2020 than we are in 2021.
So that is huge. We're not like even at the peak yet. He's basically saying that, crypto pump could still happen, and it could happen fast.
It's spookily similar to 2017. Buying that low in the first, that's what we did, and it worked really well. Back end of 2022, when global liquidity, it doesn't give the strongest price action, but
so literally what happened in 2020 and 2017, people thought it was the pump, but now it's showing indicators that we're going to be seeing just before that. And that is why the institutions are buying. That is why I'm making 15 videos a day, because I know that institution and retail investors are still coming in, and they're going to be like, it's going to be like Black Friday. Everybody's going to be rushing in.
I don't know, Bitcoin's up 6x since then. So it does work just by getting the bottom of it. But the breakout is when it really counts, right?
If there is chips to be taken off the table in Bitcoin or crypto.
And this is not necessarily the full cycle top. It can be sub-cycles within, right? Because I'm looking at got to 5s a couple of times, backs off again. So you kind of use it like a weekly RSI kind of idea, is like an overbought, oversold indicator. How I think about this to explain to people is call it a 90% correlation roughly. It's when you look at what's the other 10%, it's often the fear and greed, the elements where the market gets over ahead of itself, which is what you're picking up here, is like the deviation from the trend versus liquidity, right? So when it gets too obscene, people have taken too much risk, and then you've got other scores like leverage that then you would add on to that and say, yeah, and the leverage is built up, and that's why we're in excess. In terms of percentage of the overall market cap, because the natural leverage number will expand over time as more people come into the market using derivatives.
So yeah, he's saying a lot of traders will come in, a lot of retail investors, a lot of institutions, basically a big supply. Think of a huge migration into crypto, of crypto bros, crypto people coming and buying this coin. That's why the hype is not even yet over. And that is what we saw with XRP right before it pumped from $2 to $3 overnight. It literally did that overnight.
But we've got these larger players as well. So as the market cap goes up, it becomes, we have to measure it as that kind of percentage, like we do with short interest in stocks and stuff.
Raoul says it's the fastest pace of adoption of any investable asset in all of human history. By the end of 2025, there will be 1.1 billion active crypto wallets. The pace of growth is...
So yeah, 1.1 billion active crypto wallets is basically 1/7, 1/8. The thing is, there's going to be much, much faster automatic transactions. Right now, it's really hard to use a crypto wallet. In the future, it's going to be actually 10 times easier to use it, which makes that potential insanely good for XRP, because you can just click, maybe download an app, click it, and that's how you make a wallet. Right now, you have to store it, you have to save the codes, you have to watch out you don't say anything wrong. They're probably going to make it so you can just type in someone's name, like legal name, or they want not legal name, but you can send like first few letters or a code, and because it's all going to be on blockchain, it's all going to be connected.
hard to
And
comprehend,
it's going to be so much easier to send it. It will cost absolutely nothing.
and it will be the fastest accumulation of wealth we have ever seen. This is the conclusion of a career's worth of research. And every single chart and piece of research leads to the same conclusion. Liquidity drives everything.
Right. So, and Bitcoin is going to be breaking the all-time high. It already has in the last week or so, and it's retraced. And it could chop around here, but I don't think we're going to see a hell of a lot of like downside, not a large move, given those three risk scores where they are, then none of them being excessive.
And this,
So he's basically predicting that the markets are going to be pumping, which I'm definitely excited for.
Understood. As the momentum in the crypto market is building and institutions are positioning themselves, Raoul Pal says everything is about to change.
Exactly. We are just getting started with XRP. This is literally just the first baby steps in crypto. There's going to be probably much more of crypto institutions, crypto banks coming
bring in
in.
more capital.
Crypto banks are avoiding it right now just because it doesn't have any info on what it is. So we are going to be seeing cryptos basically imploding when they come out. And I'm definitely really excited for that. Who knows where we go from here? Could be 3x, could be 2x, could be 5x. It all depends on how many people are going to come after Trump's announcement. So really bullish on this one as well.